Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of From Donuts to Dinners. From the cop's life to a chef's life, here to make your food even better and have a great time while we're doing it. I have a little serious to discuss with you in this episode. I want to reiterate a contest we've had going on all season. It should be accumulating with our last episode of the season, but I'd like to just talk about it for a few minutes, just to reiterate what we talked about previously. So I'm going to be showing you a list of 5 different charities. They're all first responder and military charities that help out first responders as well as the military in different ways and different fashions. I'll give you a really quick explanation of each, but whatever the case is. But our contest is this. When our first episode airs, if you use the tagline From Donuts to Dinners and you make whatever size contribution you like to any one of these 5 organizations, the leaders, the presidents of these charities are going to reach out to me. They're going to tell me the first person with a dated stamp of a donation to their charity, and the first 5 winners will get a prize from me, probably something along the lines of a t-shirt or a mug or something along those lines, but just something to say thank you for your donation. We are going to have a grand prize winner at the end of the season, and it's a really cool prize. Well, I think it's a really cool prize. If you're watching me, then you're going to think I'm hoping you're going to think it's cool too. At the end of the season, what's going to happen is this. Out of all 5, at the end of the season, the presidents of every one of these organizations are going to reach out to me. They're going to tell me what their highest donation amount was from someone with the tagline From Donuts to Dinners. And out of the 5, whoever contributed the most amount of money, you get your choice of 2 things. Either I'm going to fly to wherever you are in the continental United States and make you a great dinner in your home, or you get to be immortalized. You get to give me one of your family recipes. Talk to me about your family recipe. Tell me how you make your family recipe, and I'm going to air it on one of the show episodes of From Donuts to Dinners in the 2nd season. So it's your choice on however you like to do it. Again, the rules are simple. We've talked about it in other episodes, and we're going to continue to talk about it until the very last one. But I just want to give you a reiterate what our charities are again. The 5 charities for you to be entered into this contest are Still Blue, stillblueusa.org. Basically, this is a first responder charity that looks out to help retired law enforcement with both mental and physical problems, just to also generally to get them out of their houses and associate with others. Again, sometimes they get retired cops tend to become solo and not want to talk to anybody, and problems arise from that. I will put a little disclaimer on this. I am the president of this 501c3. I started in September, and now we're up to over 1,300 members nationwide, and hopefully all of you will join, and we'll continue to grow and help out other retired first responders. The other charity is Blue Lives Matter. They contribute to a number of children and sick children, and they do so much stuff. I can't even begin to see it. You've probably seen, if you watch Fox News, you've probably seen their president on Fox News. He's featured quite frequently. Beyond the Badge, they're a suicide prevention charity. They also honor the families of first responders who've unfortunately taken their own lives for whatever mental reason, whatever stress they were under. They try to show them that their lives mattered. At the end of their lives, they chose maybe the wrong path, but they want to keep their families at least in everybody's thoughts. Smoking Shields, it's a law enforcement and military charity that just promotes the love of cigars, and they actually I am a member of all of these organizations, we send over 1.5 tons of cigars to veterans overseas, or military members overseas, every single year. And they're a great group. And the last one is OpFob. They are 80% military, 20% first responders. They're down in South Carolina. If you are a member of the military or a first responder, you can go stay down on their property in South Carolina on over 400 acres and shoot, go camping, go fishing, talk to other people that came from the military on their bonfire nights. Talk to other first responders there if you've been having problems. As I've talked to their vice president, they are not psychologists, but if you need one, they will get you one. But if you were a military person and you need to speak to somebody else who went through the same crap you did, then that's who you're going to contact and go down and visit their site. So now let's get into the food. Thank you for your time with that, and we'll talk about this further in other episodes as the contest goes on. I wish you all well in winning. And let's get into the meal. So today we're going to make a kimchi fried rice. Maybe another episode will show you how to make kimchi. It's a detailed and great process. There's some great YouTube videos out there on it. It's great. It's basically fermented cabbage, fermented vegetables, using different types of pastes and styles and sauces and everything else. We're gonna make a kimchi fried rice with some sauteed scallops, and it's gonna be fantastic. So to start off, we, of course, have our rice. Basically, again, as you tell from all the other episodes we've talked about, I'm all for the expediency. We're making fried rice tonight. I didn't have to show you how to make boiled rice. I took the boil in a bag, I threw it in the hot boiling water, and let it there for 10 minutes, and I took it out. We have our boiled rice. So to one of our pans, again, showed you the method on a previous episode. You tap it. If you can hold it there for only a couple seconds, then you know it's about medium in heat. And it's about medium in heat, and oh my God, that's too hot after a while. Same with that one. I've had these going on about medium, and we go from there. So into the first dish, we're gonna add toasted sesame oil just to start frying off our white rice. Into the second pan, we're gonna add basically a stick of butter. And this is to where we're gonna saute off our scallops in. Today we're using sea scallops. I'll give you a quick tutorial on, about those in a few minutes. But to our pan with the toasted sesame oil, we're gonna add first, we're gonna saute off some mushrooms. Again, it's just basically a gourmet blend you get from the supermarket. We have some shiitake, some porcini mushrooms, some oyster mushrooms, and I think there's some actually lobster head mushrooms in this blend as well. And we're just gonna saute these off in the toasted sesame. God, I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing already. And so this may be another half a pack. It's just because I personally like a lot of mushrooms in my fried rice, kimchi fried rice especially. Kimchi is a fermented cabbage recipe that mostly is Korean in nature. It just packs this. Everyone uses the term umami. I can't describe it. Nobody can describe it. Some people say it's earthy, some people say it's fishy. It's kind of like you take the 5 elements, the fire, the earth, the water, and all that stuff that the hippies use, and you flow it all together, and it gives you this stuff that just smacks you upside the head. Whether it be your mom, anyone else. If you got smacked in the head as a kid, then you know what this tastes like. That's what it tastes like. That's what kimchi is like. I highly recommend, if you've never tried it before, go out to your store, go out to your local Asian market, go down to the Korean restaurant near you, give it a shot, and then of course make my kimchi fried rice. Best way to learn to make this rice is, well, you're watching the show now. But the second best way is you're gonna buy my cookbook, From Donuts to Dinners, and you're gonna get every single recipe in there. And you don't have to listen to me talk for too long about it. You can just keep perusing at my pictures in the cookbook, and you take as much time as you need. Of course, the other way is to keep watching my show on repeat. Every single time you turn on your computer, my video should be popping up on there, and you're watching me at all times. Put me on your phones, put me as your screensaver. Put my video on repeat as many times as possible. Yes, I'm being self-serving. Yes, I know, but why not? It's my show. All right, so our mushrooms are sauteing off. Saute. I know we're making an Asian-inspired dish. I'm using the word saute. If you ever ask somebody, why do they keep all these chefs use the word saute? In our heads, it's just a way of cooking off something. And in French, saute is not the direct pronunciation, but it means to jump. The pan I'm kind of using today doesn't lend itself to it. It's cast iron, it weighs a ton. So basically when you see the chefs flipping stuff in the air, it's jumping off the pan. So to this, we're just gonna add a little bit of seasoning. Again, like I've told you in the past, seasoning is really just salt and pepper. And this is just gonna add a little bit of flavor to the mushrooms. We're building flavors as we go. A little bit of pepper. All right, as our mushrooms are now cooking, we add some garlic confit. As I told you in previous recipes, in previous episodes, I love garlic confit. It is basically just raw garlic, placed in oil, put onto a boil, and then you take it off the boil after 2 or 3 minutes of boiling, and you just turn off the heat and let it cook until it's as soft and luxurious. You don't get that bitter garlic taste. It's just a lovely garlic feel. I like garlic. I love this garlic confit. You've probably seen it every single episode previously. I talked about how much of it I use because it doesn't have that crazy bitter taste to it. I just like the flavor of it. And that's just me. All right, as that's cooking down, we're gonna add our kimchi. Now you notice it's a kimchi fried rice, and we haven't even gotten anywhere near the rice yet to talk about frying it in there. That's because rice fries quickly. It's already been boiled off, so it's pretty much cooked. I don't want it to become a soggy mess, and while we're waiting for our vegetables to soften and such like that. I highly advise using gloves when you're touching kimchi because it is usually made with a red pepper paste. It does have a little bit of a kick to it. And if you get it on your hands, if you have it open cut or something along those lines, or even a slightest paper cut, you're going to be using some words that may sound like different languages, but are usually just curses and grunts. I like to just chop this up just a little bit. Sometimes it comes sliced, other times it doesn't. But in either case, we're just going to use a little bit. You can use as much or as little as you like. And of course, I'm going to dump some of that sauce in there as well, because it's just a flavor bomb and a half. When they talk about umami, kimchi is like the king of it. So like I said, I'm just going to add some of this chopped up kimchi, which is basically Napa Cow. There you go. For those of you that created that drinking game, every time I mess up, you're up. You got to chug a beer. In any case, chop up a little more. It is a kimchi fried rice. And we're going to throw that in with the mushrooms. We got to hold that. Like I said, I love the sauce on this, the fermenting liquid. So we're just going to pour a good amount of that in there. Now, I like spice. Part of how you make kimchi, or traditionally how you make kimchi, is using red pepper paste, or gochujang. Is basically already made off hot peppers, Korean hot peppers, a number of other spices. Usually it's a secret family recipe going back 18 million years. They'll never tell me what it is. But yeah, just a good wallop of that to your kimchi and mushroom mix. You're gonna stir that up a bit, and you're gonna be loving life. This is also something you wanna keep gloves on for, because you get this anywhere near your eyes, you will be crying for months and months. And I already told you, I don't wanna see you crying. So, you're gonna give this a quick stir. And we're going to be back in 1 second to talk about adding our scallops. All right, guys, we're back. So we got our kimchi, our mushrooms, our spices, our herbs, our sesame oil. We all got that cooking in here. To that, we're going to add a little bit more flavor. We're going to add some brown rice vinegar, as we use some toasted sesame oil. Just a little bit, just to spur it up a little bit. And then we're going to add our rice, so that this can start all melding together into a kimchi fried rice. As soon as the rice is in, we're going to start in our scallops. All right, that's good enough for right now. Just put this off to the side. Give this a quick stir. Just incorporate the rice. We're going to turn the heat on this up. We had it at a medium before. We're going to put this up to probably a medium high or low high, if, depending on your stove, what you have on it. And we just want to incorporate all the rice together with the kimchi and the mushrooms and everything like that. We're going to give it a small taste just to check our seasoning levels, whether we need more sesame oil or we need more salt, maybe a little soy sauce. We'll see how that goes with how this tastes once we get it mixed up. And I apologize, guys. You didn't get to see me looking up. I keep looking down. I'm telling you, you got to email me at thedatechef@gmail.com. Every time I put my head down, you got to tell me, Chef, you got to look up. I got to see you. I mean, plenty of people don't want to see me. I think I'm pretty. My mom tells me I'm cute. I don't know. You know, we'll see what you guys think. All right, you can hear that going. You can hear this butter melted. Man, I want to try this. I'm going to for seasoning's sake. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times you watch these shows and chefs will try it and they say, oh, you got to try it for seasoning purposes. No, it's because we're hungry and we're cooking in front of you and we're smelling all this great food and we're hungry. We want to try it. So I'm not going to lie to you. I am doing it for seasoning purposes, but I'm also really hungry. It also gives us a chance to like look all happy and smile once we ate something, when in reality, we have our mouths full of food and we shouldn't be talking anyway. All right, so this is cooking down. To be honest, I do think it does need a little more salt. Or seasoning, if you do in the lexicon of all restaurants and cooking shows on the planet. And we're gonna let that cook. Okay, so now our scallops are gonna cook pretty quickly. That's why I've been kind of saving them till right now. You can see I had them on a paper towel. They are sea scallops. They came a little bit wet. When you saute them, you want them to be pretty as dry as you could possibly make them. You're gonna take a quick look at your scallops. Depending on the size, depends how long you're gonna cook. Usually they're 1 to 2 minutes. What I'm looking for right now and running my finger along the edges of the scallops are for is there is an abductor muscle that is on all scallops unless they've been cleaned previously by the purveyor. This is the muscle that holds the scallop to the shell. They're actually, in shells. They're the same as clams and oysters and stuff of that nature. So, but if you leave that little muscle on, it's like eating a scallop chewing gum. You'll be chewing on that forever, and you'll never stop. It will never break down. So you want to just make sure that that is taken off. This one actually has one that was missed. You run your finger along the sides, and it should come off right away. It looks like you'll see it if you're looking at your scallops. They're out of place, and that's really basically all you're looking for is to take off that muscle if it's there. Like I said, sometimes your purveyor will take it off for you. Sometimes it's still there. This one, there's a little piece still on. That's like eating chewing gum. If you like scallop chewing gum, feel free to leave it on. You will be chewing on it for hours, but that's that. So now our pan's been going on at medium for a while. We're gonna drop our scallops in, and we're gonna increase the heat a little bit till about medium high on the scallops. These are smaller scallops. They should probably take maybe about 2 to 3 minutes per side. You will see and notice that by the color they get on the bottom. You don't want them to get too dark. You don't want them to get undercooked. Scallops, if you were to go by the judging levels, they're a medium hard thing to cook because you can quickly overcook a scallop if you're not paying attention to them, which is a nice thing why we have the kimchi fried rice, because we can let this go for a little bit longer if we're paying more attention to the scallops, and your kimchi fried rice should be good. I just dropped this down to a low, and that is so nothing, it doesn't, burn on the rice. That's the worst thing you can do, is burn your rice. And we're just gonna move that off to the side. We are gonna take our tongs, and we're just gonna check some of our scallops to see how the cooking's going. And they can keep going for a little bit. We'll be back in 2 minutes to flip our scallops, and stay with us. Hey guys, we're back. So scallops have been cooking for at least about a minute or so. We're gonna give them a flip so we can get the other side cooked. And as soon as we get these flipped, we'll be back and we'll plate them up and give everyone a chance to eat. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, we're back. As you can tell, our scallops are pretty much done. We are just gonna put these off in a little dish to the side while we plate up the rest of our dish. And these will rest a little bit. So our scallops have been cooked on both sides. You can see they're golden brown. They're perfect. And we're just gonna put these off to the side while we plate our kimchi, and then we'll put the scallops around the dish as well, and it'll be perfect. So you can see our scallops are cooked on both sides. They're brown on both sides. They were in there for about a minute or two per side. Like I said, you do not want to overcook scallops. Nobody will love you if you do. And that's that. We're gonna put that over to the side. We turned off our stovetop here. We turned off our stovetop on the kimchi. So now what we're gonna just do is we're gonna grab the kimchi, we're gonna plate it onto this bowl or whatever serving dish you choose in your own house. And, you know, just make that, push that in a bit. We just want a big mound of it that people can grab off of as they like. And, you know, put that off to the side. Like in every other dish, we just want to, you know, wipe the sides down a little bit so that it is appeasing to the eye, to your guest, to your date, to whoever it is you're serving your food for. Okay, there is our kimchi fried rice. We're gonna top along the sides with the scallops. That way, if you want more scallops or less rice, you could choose however your method. We're gonna finish this off with some scallions on top and a little bit of lime juice just to give it a little bit of acid kick. Acid always works to lighten up a flavor, to brighten up whatever your dish is. They always are, that's what an acid is meant to do in your food. Like I said, we're gonna take some regular scallions. We're gonna turn it kind of on an 45-degree angle from us. And we're gonna, instead of cutting them straight into rounds, we're gonna be a little fancy and we're gonna cut them on a bias or on a 45-degree angle. That's all a bias means when you hear it on TV, when you read about it in my cookbook, From Donuts to Dinners, or whenever you're at a restaurant, you go, how do they make it so pretty? Just cutting it on a bias, that 45-degree angle that we've talked about several times. The scallions are also gonna add a little bit of an onion flavor to this. It is something great. We're gonna take, in this case, lime juice as an acid. You could use lemons if you prefer, but in Asian cooking, limes are traditionally the acid that is used in terms of citrus. So we're just gonna spread that around. If you get a lime that has a lot of seeds in it, you could always place your hand underneath it and let the liquid go through. And that way the seeds get caught in your hand and they don't fall into your dish. Right here I'm using 2 limes. They were smaller-ish limes, but they had a great kick. So again, to reiterate tonight, we made a kimchi fried rice using kimchi, shiitake, porcini mushrooms, as well as some lobster mushrooms, topped with some scallions, some lemongrass and ginger. We sauteed off some scallops, used them as the protein, topped it with some scallions, and finished it with an acid. My name is Chef Chris. You could find me at www.thedatechef.net. That's TheDatechef.net. Find me on Facebook under The Date Chef, and we're working on an Instagram page now, so you can't find me there yet. It was great cooking with you tonight, and we'll see each other in another episode. Have a great night.